it loaded, keep it loaded, keep it loaded. Better nice, I'm looking at the camera. Better nice, good, good, good.
Preloaders, V.I.Preloaders, welcome back to the channel, guys. Always a pleasure to have you guys here with me, and you noticed by now, or at least you should. But those of you that have never been to this channel before, welcome to you as well. My name's Robert. I'm a retired NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle lieutenant, and the name of this wonderful channel is Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. I'm here in Palm Bay, Florida, specifically Space Coast Harley-Davidson. This is my second time being here. I did practice sessions here earlier in this year, and I'm gonna be back next year to do 2 more, so stay tuned for that, guys. But right now, they're having a rodeo here, as a matter of fact. It's gonna be going on, I guess, tomorrow, the next day, going into the weekend. I don't know exactly when that is. It's not why I'm here. I'm here because Harley-Davidson, specifically Matt, reached out to me and asked me if I'd wanna get a sneak peek at a motorcycle that's coming out. And it's the 2026 Police Road Glide. Now that's very significant for a bunch of different reasons. So what I wanna do is, Rob Grimsley, he's a preloader, he competes a lot. Excellent on the motorcycle, just excellent. And a great guy. He's gonna give us a walk around talking about this bike and the significance of this bike. Now, if you don't know, they're not making the Road King or the Electric Glide anymore. That was always typically a police motorcycle, or at least it was used as a police motorcycle. That's one of the biggest deals of this new motorcycle because it's built to be a police motorcycle, not retrofitted, okay? So anyway, I'm gonna put a microphone on Rob. Huge shout out to Harley-Davidson again for calling me up and inviting me out to this, and I appreciate them. All right, let's do it. All right, listen, guys. This dealership is insane. I know we're supposed to be talking about this police bike, but I'd be remiss if I didn't talk to you. It's insane with the amount of motorcycles they have here. And I was just told that the motto of this dealership is, I don't know how accurate this is, but if you want a motorcycle, come to Space Coast Harley-Davidson to buy it. If you want parts and accessories, go to Daytona. I mean, look at all of these bikes. And this is just inside. Like, it must take them forever. Like, let me show you guys something. It must take them forever to move all of the bikes outside. Look at this. Now, these are all road glides. All road glides. You got some Road Kings here, and it's just a bunch of bikes everywhere. But check this out, guys. All right. How many dealerships do you know that have this in the dealership? Not many. Obviously, it's not going to be a lot. But that's the CVO-RR. And they got a CVO here. These are all street glides. And then over here, more road glides, a whole line of them. And then against that back wall. I mean, it's an insane amount of motorcycles. All right, let's go look at this police motorcycle.
Hey guys, Rob Grimsley here with Harley-Davidson Motor Company. I'm the police and fleet rep for the Southeast. I cover from Washington, D.C., down here all the way down to Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and Mississippi. As a police and fleet rep, we come to different motorcycle competitions, sheriff's conventions, chief's conventions, anything law enforcement related, and just promote the police bike. And so we're here today at Space Coast and want to introduce the all-new 2026 Police Road Glide, the FLTR XP. Kind of start how this all came about, and then maybe it would help people understand why the rumors, which aren't rumors, that this is the last year of the Police Electric Glide and last year of the Police Road King right now as we know it. So probably around 2019, 2020, we started looking, okay, if we're going to redo the police bike, what do we need to do? What's the wants, what's the needs? So Harley-Davidson, we're the only one that has a police advisory board that is made up of officers, fleet administrators, and people off the dealership. And we meet once a year and we get feedback from them. In a perfect world, what what would they want on a police bike, and what are the bad things they're hearing, and what are the good things we're doing. So we looked at all that. So we went back and looked at years of those notes, and the common thing that kept coming up was wanting more speed, more speed. So when we sat down to come up with a new bike, we looked at those notes, and we got with engineering. And luckily I was brought in on this project by one of our main engineers, Scott Nash, and he had formed a team, and Kevin King was the lead engineer on this project. A lot of other people worked on it, and it was great that they really embraced this project, and they looked at it and they said, okay, we're going to make a new police bike. What do we want it to be? So this is how we came up with the Road Glide, because Product Integrity was telling us, look, if you want more speed, they were pushing us towards the Road Glide platform. So with the 2026, as you can see, it comes with the 121 VVT engine. The benefits of that to the riders is this bike will do 120 miles an hour. It is 0 to 60 in 4.46 seconds, 0 to 100 in 12 seconds, 12.6. To give you an idea of where we're at with that, model year 25 and back, it was taking us roughly 19 seconds to get to 100 miles an hour. So this bike is doing it in 12 seconds. It's 139 foot-pound of torque, which is 115 horsepower, so a lot more than what we've had before. So that was a big thing with why we went with this design of the Road Glide, this platform, and then we went with the new, what we call the Helix model. Keep in mind, this bike has been out since 23 and a half, so it is a new police bike, but this bike is not new to Harley. Mm-hmm. So that's the benefit of this engine and getting the top speed to it. Also answering things that the motor cops wanted, like we were hearing when you're doing escorts, getting from the back up to the front, doing speed enforcement when, say you're on the interstate and speed limit 70 and somebody goes at 90 and you're at a stop. We explained to engineering that the sooner we can get up to that top speed, that higher speed, and catch a violator, the less time we're at those high speeds, the safer it is for the motor officers. So that was a big reason, and that's why we are with this platform, and that's why basically we just couldn't, I tell people there's a reason we raced the bagger, the Road Glide, and the King of the Baggers. So with the Police Electric Glide and Police Road King, we couldn't quite get there with the speed. Mm-hmm. So that's why we elected to go with this model. Not saying that they won't come back, but at least for the next couple of years, we know that this will be the main feature we have here. Some of the other things is with, and not to get too in depth to it, but all the lighting is integrated in the fairing. And the biggest thing come 2026, as you guys are seeing this bike, this is the way it comes from the factory. Nothing is added on at the dealership. It's 100% upfitted at our plant in York. When it gets to the dealer, all the dealership does is plug it into the digital technician. Somebody from the agency comes in and says, hey, what color do you want the lights, and what features do you want enabled on this bike? This bike has a lot of cool features, like you can program it to when the lights and siren are on, and when the kickstand goes over and it goes to 8 degrees, the siren will automatically shut off. So say an officer gets off in a foot pursuit, or you're in traffic and you're trying to get traffic out of the intersection real quick. We've all been there where you're trying to talk over the sirens, so it will do that. You can also program it to when your lights and siren on, if you shut the lights off, the siren will shut off. You can program the headlight to wig-wag with a slow pattern, a fast pattern. We have what we call an intersection clear pattern, which I can show you. So basically we redid all the controls. They're much like the Pan America. They're much more robust. No more key for the bike. It's all electronic up here. We have our own police specific screen on the IFCU screen, which is 12.3 inches. So when you turn the lights on, this is what we call a slow pattern. That's called a blocking pattern. This bike is programmed that anytime the bike comes to a stop and goes over 8 degrees, which is that lean angle on the side stand, if the lights were in a fast pattern, then they would automatically go. So I'll give you an example. So now that is the fast pattern. So say I made a traffic stop, and then when a bike comes to a stop, once it went over 8 degrees, the lights would automatically slow down without me touching it. If I got back on and left the lights on, and once I got above 10 miles an hour, the lights would automatically go back to the fast pattern. So that's one of the functionalities that you as an agency, you pick what you want. Another cool one is we have what we call intersection clear. So if you're going through an intersection, you take your flash to pass button right here, you just click it down, and for 7 seconds, your light pattern will change opposite to what you had, and then your siren will automatically change tone. So if it was in Yelp, it would go to Wail and vice versa. And after 7 seconds, as you clear that intersection, it reverts back to the same light pattern and siren tone you had in it. And you can have the headlight wig-wag with that. Other features we have is we came up with a a traffic arrow stick on the back. So if you have an arrow button right here. So the first press, you can see on the dash, it's telling you it's arrow in traffic to the left back here. And then you do it again, and it takes it, showing it's going to the right.
Let me see that.
One more time, and it shows it's centering out. So everything that you're doing on this bike, on your police specific screen, it's showing you what mode, what everything that you're in.
That's huge.
We can go one step further. If you take and say we're doing an escort at nighttime and it's dark, a low level, and you don't want to blind everybody behind you, you hold the arrow button down for 3 seconds, and you'll see I just put it in escort mode, and what that did is that killed all the lights behind me right here. So I'm not blinding the guys behind me.
Awesome.
Simply to get out of that, you just hold it 3 seconds again, and now we're out of that. We have what we call cruise mode or parade mode. If I wanted to just ride around with my lights on, that's starting to become popular with a lot of agencies. So I would hold this arrow button down, and it's a long 10-second hold because we didn't want an officer to inadvertently hit this switch and cut all and go to a different mode he or she didn't want to. So now the little drum comes up telling me I'm in parade mode, and now I got steady burn lights on the bike as I'm just riding around, and it's showing you that I'm in parade mode.
So white lights on the front, blue lights on the side.
Yeah. And these can be programmed to red back here if you want. It has to stay white up front, but you can program these lights to whatever light color pattern you want between red, blue, and amber. So we can get out of that, and then we got one more function. It's called stealth mode. All right, so say I'm on the side of the road and I got a bolo, or I want to come in somewhere to a call and I want to black everything out. If I take and hold this trigger switch down right here for about 3 seconds, you'll see the little stealth bomber came up right there, and you notice it killed all the lights on the bike, and the IFCU screen will dim down, so it doesn't illuminate a lot of lights. And then if I hit any light or my emergency button, then everything comes back to life. Another great function this bike has is it has what we call load shed. So say you've been on, so as the bikes are now, these lights will run for 30 minutes if you're at a traffic stop or directing traffic, just like our bikes in the past, and they'll time out and you can come back and start it again. But what this bike does, you'll see it has a battery up here, and once that little lightning bolt comes up, it tells you the bike is starting to go into load shed. So what that do is it will systematically shut stuff off, so you won't be left with a dead battery. You will always be able to start the bike. So that's a nice feature, not having to worry about that anymore. One thing else we did to help agencies out, we came to the tour pack back here, and what we have is we have 4 open ports back here for whatever you want: radar, laptop, police radio, anything you need electrical power for. You have 4 open ports back here that's already pre-wired. So now when you're putting either a police radio or a radar or a laptop, all you have to do is either the agency or the dealer run the wiring the way they want it run. But here's your power ports. There's no more cutting and splicing, trying to get a power port. It's right here. I know a lot of guys are going to say, hey, where's the spare battery at? Well, from 25, model year 25 and back, that bike is pulling 28 amps. This bike is pulling 58 amps. So we feel you don't really need a spare battery anymore. That's cutting down on the weight. Also keep in mind with the high speeds, this is why we went to the chop tour pack. And you notice it sits over top the wheel, it's not after the rear wheel. All that was designed with performance in mind, keeping the most aerodynamic handling of the bike. The bike handles superly great. We didn't lose your heated hand grips. We put the button on the inside right here, so no more to dial. You know, a lot of times if we would pick the bikes up and grab that and pull, and you know, it wasn't meant to do that. So the heated grips are there. We have an adjustable brake lever ergonomically up here to adjust for your brake hand. Little simple things like no more gas tank top. I mean, we all know as motor officers how many we put up on a gas tank and then pulled off, and so that's there. We have these willy wings on the side that will take and you can divert air to you. We have a wind deflector up here in the wind tunnel. This reduced head buffeting by 60%. You know, especially for short guys like me, like Robert, you probably need still need a taller windshield. But there's a lot of cool features on this. In the past, on the bikes, this is always dead. Here's for your phone to charge your phone with. Other cool thing, this comes with AM, FM radio and navigation, all that's included. So everything that the normal pleasure bikes have on this screen, the officers have on the screen, they just have a police specific screen on it also. So you can set it up with three different styles of screen to see what you're seeing. But the police part of it too is, you'll notice that none of this is touch, because we didn't want rain or anything inadvertently hitting something and changing it.
Wow, good.
But if I go to the pleasure side of it, I can change radio stations. It is touchscreen at that point.
Does it have Apple CarPlay?
It doesn't have Apple CarPlay, but it'll Bluetooth to your phone.
Gotcha.
So if you got it there, you can bring it through the speakers. You can also Bluetooth your the headsets, PvP and Sitcom.
Okay.
That's Bluetooth through there.
Talk to me about this seat.
Oh, great point. I'm glad you brought that out, Robert. So the seat, especially here in my area, the Southeast, all cops seem to be altering the seat with some type of seat riser. So what we did is we gave you an adjustable seat here. This seat is in the lowest pattern. You can adjust it two more notches to make it go up higher. The other thing that's cool is not only the rear, but we also had the front, so that's adjustable here, because in the past, guys were raising the seat up, but not the front, and that was causing the main wiring harness to get pinched. So you can raise it up in the front and the back, which is a very, very cool feature. And then on the shocks, this front is still the same as it was, dual valve bending, but in the rear, they're still Showa, but they went one step farther for us. And each bike will come with a spanner wrench. Thank you, Matt. So now you can adjust the rebound right here. And then on both sides of the shock, you have this little gold knob right here to adjust your dampening. So that to me is a huge, huge feature in how the bike handles. Like, I have this bike set up very stiff for riding in competitions. But you can adjust it however you want it, adjustable for the rider, and that makes a world of difference. And then the other knob is on the outside now. It's not under the saddlebag, so you can just reach over here and you can adjust it to the way you want it to without removing that saddlebag, and there it is. You know, you can make that as stiff or as more comfortable as you would like.
So basically, we got a police CVO.
You're right. Yeah, this bike is very close to the Road Glide ST CVO. You're absolutely correct.
Not the FT, because that's in high output. This
right.
is
Yeah,
VVT.
we went with the VVT because it had more torque in the lower end, and we figured that's where cops were wanted at. And then on the chart, when you looked at it at the high end, it wasn't that too far off. So we figured the low end would be better. But yeah, you're getting the CVO air intake, the CVO mufflers.
That's awesome.
And this bike is, was designed specifically just for police work. You know, if you civilianize this bike, you're going to have to take some things off. And so this is really, we went down this path saying, hey, we want to give you a truly turnkey bike and give you the most features, the best features that we could come up with. And that's not to say things won't, we're always looking for feedback and improvement and stuff. But I really feel like I've had personally probably close to 150 to 200 demos, and from guys that ride, other brands and didn't want to get on it, and after they ride it, they love it. It's just the bike, the torque on it, the speed, the way the bike handles, the front end is so much lighter. Even little things like we went to a chop fender, so no more of the cones getting caught up under the fender and bending the fender. This bike has bigger rotors, so because of that and a slight frame tweak, the other great thing is the lean angle. Our bikes from 25 in the past have a 31-degree lean angle both sides. This has a 32 and a 33 to the left, 34 to the right. So you're getting a much greater lean angle. I know the first time I rode it in the cones, it was weird. It's like, okay, where I normally would be locked out at, I'm thinking, wow, I got a little bit more to go. So, all around, the bike is just, it's phenomenal. And we tell people, you can talk about it all day, you can watch stuff like this, but you really have to ride the bike. So I'm excited to get you guys on the bike and get your feedback on it. It's just, but this is something that, like I said, the engineering, the Harley took it serious. This bike was years in the making, and it was a pleasure to be involved in it, do a lot of the testing on it, the high-speed testing. At our high-speed oval at APG, Arizona Proving Grounds, at 120 after about the third lap in full leathers, I just put my left hand on the tank and was just doing ovals on it. The bike is just, I hear guys all the time, they'll come back from a demo and say, wow, look down, I was doing 80 or 90, didn't realize it.
Motor officers, remember that when you pull somebody over riding the Road Glide. Talk to me about this new streamlined siren speaker.
Okay, so yeah.
Look at this thing.
Yeah,
it's like a pancake.
Yeah, and it's, one of the questions we get asked is it blocking air in the intake? No, through the wind tunnel testing, it was fine there. But yeah, we wanted something that was more streamlined, that wasn't sticking out and sometimes catching the brake cables over here. We went to the lower profile engine guard. That's on touring all apart. I hear motor officers ask, well, we like the taller engine guards, and we have to remind them that the engine guards are designed for the engine. It's not a rider protection thing. And so, no issues. Like I've had this bike laid all the way over, in which you guys understand turtling, where I brought it all the way up. The fairing doesn't touch, it's the bar ends and the brake and clutch lever it hits. But yeah, this siren, more streamlined, it's extremely loud.
Okay.
I've had some, guys say it's too loud, and we all know as motor cops we're hard to please. Usually it's not loud enough. I hear that one's extremely loud, but yeah, it's, and it has the two tones, the yell and whelp to it.
Now the lights just cut off. Is that because of a draw?
That's because of the draw. So yeah, so the lights cut off. Good point, good thing. So what it's going to do is the lights cut off, but it will allow you to start the bike. So yeah, that's and it doesn't take long after you start riding the bike. It'll charge right back up with the 58 amps. But it was just one thing we put in there to make sure that, okay, you're never gonna, we've all been there. Your bike is dead on the road and you're busy, mainly like directing traffic or something like that, and can't quite get back to the bike. At least you know you won't be stranded with it.
Guys, check this out. He said this is the lowest that this seat goes. Oh my God.
Yeah, you'll see. There's two more settings right up under here.
Yeah.
Right there, 1 and 2. So that's in the low setting.
So that's the lowest. So where I worked, they actually had to order 2 Road Kings with that low seat. So it was for the vertically challenged people.
Yep.
And I don't know what they're gonna do with this, because that's high up there. I like it. Listen, I love the fact that I think a lot of agencies are going to love this, because it's going to save time and money.
It is, and that's the biggest thing. You said it right there, Robert.
Yeah.
This was designed to save agencies time and money.
Yeah.
No more having to order what we call parts and accessories.
Exactly.
No more worrying about if it's on back order. No more worrying about dealerships that are short on techs. And we all know that when, and Ryan, you and I were talking, it takes a lot to wire a police bike up, and now it's truly simply turnkey, and it's not. And we went one step farther. It's not like where the bike comes and then we send it in a package and then the dealer puts everything on. It leaves York, Pennsylvania, just like it is right there. And I mean, literally, if the bike got to your dealership at 9 o'clock that morning, you could easily that afternoon be riding off with it. Everything is set up at when we do what we call the when they go through the PDI, the pre-delivery inspection, and then you simply just hook it up to the digital technician, and like I said, someone from the agency comes in and says, I want this enabled, I want that enabled, and it's they're not charged to turn on any of the functions on this bike. Yeah. Anything that it is able to do, the agency gets at that time when the PDI is done.
So the only thing I'm thinking about is, and to my former agency, the largest motor unit in the world, I don't think they're going to be rushing to get this as much sense as, I feel bad. Can you please put this back on the bike? Yeah. Poor Matt standing here holding this thing.
I got it.
Yeah, so, because to me, it's all about uniformity.
Yeah.
And so all of those Road Kings, you can't just get 3 of these.
Right.
I mean, you could, but then it comes to a detail, it's got to stay inside.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's like anything else that's new. It's a transitional period.
And you're right, in law enforcement and in motors, you're right, the uniformity, and that's the thing, the bigger units is, you're going to be in that transition period, but, I like to say, the cars haven't stayed the same and they've changed a lot, but I know motors are a little different.
Exactly. Man, now I wish I didn't retire, because as a lieutenant, I know for a fact that we got it, I'm riding it. I know for a fact.
Part CVO, you're going to have to come out of retirement.
Look at that, man.
It's your police road guy.
Shoot, I'll just put some lights on my current CVO. Now of course there's going to be some departments that are going to say, nice lights, but we want to do our own thing.
Yeah.
And so what would they have to do, because these lights are in the tour pack?
Right, so when we did this, I was advising that, hey, agencies are going to want to add lights, especially probably around the saddlebags. You can add lights to it, and what I tell agencies, all these lights on the bike are code 3, the siren is code 3, that's who we work with. So we tell them, look, we're not saying that the other light manufacturers won't work, we just don't know. We know that you can add code 3 lights, and as we all know, there's going to be agencies that find out, but we can just say, hey, look, we know you can add code 3 lights to it. But I feel the bike is adequately lit.
Yeah.
We all know that. I like to tell guys that more lights ain't always necessarily the best thing. I mean, when I started, I had 2 lights up front and a pole light. But we feel that this is a adequately lit motorcycle at a good base for it.
What did you say? More lights? What?
More lights don't
Not necessarily
always equal to be safer.
okay. Safer, but it looks better.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys know how I feel about lights, so all right. Yeah. Listen, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate this guy right here. Last minute call, but sometimes that's how it happens, and it all works out. And seeing Rob again, but this is very exciting. I'm not saying I'm dying to go back to work, but I want to see these lights at night, definitely.
Yeah.
And like you said, I would need a taller windshield.
Your height and being,
With that seat being the lowest.
Being the lowest.
We'll see. I'm gonna ride it.
But like I said, that was probably the only want that we've got out of. Like I said, I probably got 200 some with all of our reps throughout the U.S. We're probably well over 600 demo rides.
Yeah.
And typically the thing of it is we'd like a taller windshield, and we've heard that. We've taken that back to engineering, and they said, okay, something we can look on.
Yeah.
Look at. So, not to say, and then there's always, I hate to push it, but there's always the aftermarket out there also.
Yeah. Obviously, it comes with the saddlebag guards. That's a given. But so did the Road King.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's.
Yeah, basically everything that you had in the past, you still have. We just made sure we went obviously steps further with it to add stuff to it.
That screen is huge.
Yes.
Everything being on the screen, you don't have to, like every now and then I would have to double check to make sure what mode I was in.
Right.
And there were some police motorcycles we had that didn't have the escort mode. So some guys are getting blinded, some guys aren't. It's nice to know. That's just very nice, man.
And I'm glad that you mentioned modes, because this does come with the, you have the ride.
The ride mode.
Ride mode. You have rain, sport,
road, and sport.
And you have an A mode, so you can go in and tweak the sensitivity of the throttle a little bit, different things like that. You can customize that A mode a little bit.
Okay, so that's the siren. Everything's right there. It's got cruise control, of course.
Yep.
And then over here you got your lights. What's the volume up and down for?
That's for your AM FM radio.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, so that's still the same.
Yep.
Tone is
that is the change between yell and whelp.
okay.
And then when you hit siren, that's what turns it on.
Okay. And if I just wanted to hit it quickly,
Chirp it right there. Yep. That's
nice.
it.
Yeah, very nice. I mean, I was used to doing it like this with my thumb.
Yep.
But that's easy too. Look at that. All right, heel toe shifter. I wish I had a heel toe shifter. I mean, I don't know what it is with the NYPD. They wouldn't do it. And you can't add it because then it's like, well, you didn't get trained like that.
Right,
so everything's CYA.
Yep.
So I would go get my boot shine, and now I don't want to change the gears riding all the way back to the station house. It's ridiculous. Oh, I would have killed for a heel shifter. Yeah, so it's awesome, man. All right, listen, guys, I'm going to ride it. At the end of the day, it's a road glide, right? So I'm not expecting to feel anything different. It's got the 121. The seat is going to be different, so I'm going to see that. I'll feel that, I should say. And I'm going to record Ryan doing some stuff right here too, and then I'm going to record Matt doing some U-turns. The road on the street he's the best.
I can barely touch it. Yeah.
You know what street that is?
Yeah.
Sesame Street. But what do you guys think? You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, hopefully
listen,
it will. Let me see.
every agency is going to paint it whatever color they want,
Try to get a few shots.
and that's pretty much it. So I want to see it. I want to see it at night. As far as the lights, I want to ride it, of course. I want to watch Ryan ride it, and I'm going to ask Matt if he can hold the camera while I do some stuff right here. That's about it. I like the fact, guys, that a lot of these things with these lights happen automatically. Like, you don't have to worry about turning off the siren if you put the kickstand down. How many times have I arrived at a scene and you jump out of the car and the siren is still going and somebody else has to come shut it off? So the less you have to worry about, the better. Now, I know I'm only talking about people that are in law enforcement and specifically that are motor officers, but I guarantee you people are going to highly, highly appreciate everything that's going on with this. And of course, different departments are going to modify it however they want. In my opinion, it needs tab performance. I'm just kidding. But that's going to get modified too, depending on the department, because it's too quiet. Now, yeah, you have a siren, but And I never had a problem. People say, I don't know, I never understand how you went through the city of New York as a motor officer. I said, I was on a police motorcycle. I didn't have no problem with that. I hit the siren, people get out of my way. Or put the lights on, so. All right, enough of this jibber jabber, guys. Let's ride it. All right. So, first things first. Getting on the bike, and again, I'm curious, I want to feel this, the height of this seat versus the lowness of this. Oh yeah, this windshield's way too low. Way too low. So again, for the shorter officers, this is going to be an issue. Well, they'll rectify it, but this is how it comes. This is the lowest setting. Another good thing that's going to be coming, which we have now in the 23.5s and up, one touch start. Rob, same, just a regular clutch? Regular clutch, okay? Does it have auto hold? Let's see. Yes, it does. This is a damn CVO. It's got auto hold. All right. Of course, it's too quiet, guys. There's nothing you can do about that. We need two of these, guys, so me and Ryan can have fun like we normally do. I mean, it feels good. I knew it would. But check this out, guys. This is actually a hill. So we talk about these things all the time. What if it's a hill, Rob? None of the rules change. I like the way the headlight looks in the reflection right there. Wow. Friction brake, clutch, 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 clutch. Bing, woo! Ah. Yeah, the high seat's actually better for my hips too. I didn't realize that until I was riding this guy's bike out in Arizona. All right, those are the pursuit lights. Oh my God. It feels so good, guys. I mean, it really feels good. Oh man, I'm dying to take it to the cones. Am I crazy? Are the handlebars turning more on this?
I think it's the extra leaning.
Yeah.
That was the thing I noticed when I first moved.
Friction brake, clutch, clutch, clutch. Woo! Smooth as butter. Ah. All right, guys, listen. Now, obviously, this is not going to be appealing to everybody because this is a police motorcycle. It's specifically for motor officers. However, that's law-abiding biker, Ryan Urchula. Anyway, as I was saying, I know for some of you this is just going to be informational because you can't ride this bike. You're not going to be allowed to ride it. But if you're a motor officer, you're going to love riding this bike. Now, if you're a new motor officer, you're not going to be able to appreciate it as much as motor officers that have been riding Road Kings and Electra Glides. Now, yes, a 24 police Road Glide was actually out last year and this year, and I think the year before. I don't know exactly when it came out, but it's no comparison to this because it's still on that old platform and it's still a bike that had to be retrofitted to make it a police motorcycle. This motorcycle from the ground up was built and engineered specifically to be a police motorcycle, like we talked about earlier with Rob. Again, shout out to Rob. Matter of fact, this rodeo that's happening, Rob's going to be competing in that. He's going to be riding this motorcycle. Man, it feels good. It feels nimble. But anyway, back to what I was saying. If you haven't ridden an old Road King Police or Electra Glide, then I'm not saying you're not going to appreciate this, but you're going to really appreciate this, even comparing it, like I said, to the Road Glide that's already out, the police model. Because you don't have to do anything. Now, I'm sure departments are going to do their own thing and put their own touches on it. Obviously, change the light patterns or lights as far as the color of the lights. But for the most part, it's ready to go. Put your decals on it, paint it whatever color you want, and it's ready to go. But with a 121 engine on it, it's got a CVO's engine on it, right? I just think they did a great job. And let me tell you something, guys. I don't have this seat on any of my bikes, but every time I get on a bike with one of these seats, for me, it just feels so good. Again, my hips don't like to be on a motorcycle for long periods of time, but I find that when I'm higher up, my legs get to be straighter. And I mean, I just want to throw this bike around. Now, the good thing also is, compared to the other Road Glide, is these upgraded handlebars for the 23.5 and up Road Glides. This is something they did not have to modify at all. These are the same handlebars that are on the regular Road Glides because they're perfect. Or you can either move them up or move them back. But other than that, they're ready to go. Now, I know there's going to be some people that are motor officers that are gonna, like always, people don't like change. They're gonna be pushing back on this just because they're so used to what they currently ride. So if I'm speaking to you guys, I'm gonna say, just keep in your mind a couple of things. Number one, the rules don't change, okay? It's the same frame, the same wheelbase, the same size wheels, right? The same turning radius. This has more lean angle, but other than that, everything's the same. If your concern is that the fairing doesn't move, you got to get over that. Trust me, because the fairing is not attached to the handlebars, it's going to feel just as light as that Road King, and probably lighter than the Electra Glide because the Electra Glide has a fairing, right? And as I always say, when you go to turn your motorcycle, you shouldn't be looking at the fairing or anything going on the front of the bike anyway. You should be looking in the direction that you want to go. But keep in mind what you're getting, and you're getting so much because this is on the new platform. All of the new technology that these bikes come with, you now have. And the fact that they threw in some extra stuff specifically for police, that's just outstanding. This screen especially, that's huge. Not having to guess what pattern of light that's on. It's trying to look around the bike to see what's on. You can just look down. And I recently saw, it said radar speed at the top of the screen. And so I got to find out if once you hook radar up to this, do you still need the readout machine? Do you need the unit? Or can you just get it off of the screen right here? Because I mean, that's just another case where, trust me guys, you're just getting so much. So, all right, listen, I'm gonna end the video here. If you're a motor officer, or you used to be a motor officer, put in the comment section what you think about this. I really want to hear about people that are currently motor officers, because I don't know how quickly people are gonna be getting these bikes, departments that is. And again, I think smaller departments would get these first, just to keep the uniformity in the department, because again, like the NYPD Highway Patrol Motorcycle Unit, they've got a ton of motorcycles, which means if we want to keep the uniformity, you'd have to replace everything pretty much at the same time, and I know that's not going to happen. So anyway, at Harley-Davidson, I love the forward thinking with the new platform. Why not do a new police motorcycle? And that's what they did. All right, guys, as I always say, spend more time being thankful for the things that you have and less time complaining about the things that you don't. I want to give a huge shout out again to Matt Swetland from Harley-Davidson for calling me last week and saying, are you available to come down here and do this? Absolutely, I'm available. And I appreciate him always thinking about me, because again, it could be anybody. All right, guys? Shout out to Ryan for being down here as well. And shout out to you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do so. Hit the like button, share these videos. And by sharing, that's what's really going to help the motorcycle riding community. Get this. When I say get this, be comfortable riding one of these things. All right, guys? All right, listen, guys. Seat time doesn't equal practice time. And if you have time to ride your motorcycle, you have time to practice on it. It's not my opinion. Ah! And I can see what gear I'm in, regardless if I have the clutch pulled in or not. Just so many good things. Until next time, guys. Oh man, my lights went off. I want the lights on.